Hi, I'm Katie Barr, and this is Boca Matters. They say charity begins at home, and if that's true, Boca Raton is lucky that Neil Saffer calls Boca Raton his home. If there's a charity auction going on, you can be sure Neil and his team are running the show. Joining us today is the Master of Ceremonies himself, Neil Saffer. Hey, Neil, so great to see you today.
And great to see you, Katie. Happy holidays, and hi to you and all your friends out there at Boca First.
Oh, thank you, Neil. You know, you're very well known in this town, but there could be some of our viewers that are not familiar with what you do and who you are. So can you give us a little background information?
Certainly. So for the last 32 years, my wife and I have conducted major charity and benefit auctions all over Boca Raton, Palm Beach County, South Florida, and the United States. We've done events in New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Toronto, and Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I think the last count, we did 3,847 live charity events and raised just north of $350 million.
That's amazing. That's incredible, Neil. Um, well, so when COVID-19 hit, that must have like thrown a loop in your in the works of your process. So how did you cope with that?
COVID-19, what's that? Haven't heard of it. So yeah, so it certainly did throw a loop. This year, 2020, we had the probably our best year ever as far as fundraising for our charities. January, February, and the beginning of March were incredible. March 1st, we did a $1 million event with our friends at Boca West and Jay Leno, benefiting 25 local children's charities. March the 6th, we were at the Breakers for our friends at Place of Hope. 800 people sold out, just an incredible event. And then March 7th, we were at the Norton Museum for the Arc of Palm Beach. And then the next week, the world shut down. Started getting calls from all our friends, our clients, the organizations we've worked with for 20 plus years, going, what are we going to do? How are we going to keep the doors open? How are we going to feed the hungry or home the homeless or shelter foster kids, everything? And no one in our industry had any idea what to do. I'm fairly close to probably the top 10 auctioneers fundraisers in the country. I wrote the curriculum for the National Auctioneers Association about 10 years ago for the benefit auction specialist designation, and nobody knew what to do. So Tricia, myself, and a few other auctioneers around the country started interfacing with production companies, software companies, and trying to figure out how to do engaging, successful virtual fundraisers to help the organizations we love and partner with.
Yeah, and I know I've been to auctions where you obviously are the master of ceremonies, and it's so important for you to interact with the audience. You know, your personality, the way you engage with everyone. How is that? What's happened with Zoom? I mean, how have you managed that?
So it's not Zoom. There's a myriad of tools it takes to put this on. And again, took months and months in the learning process. It is quite different though than a live auction. There's nothing better than a live auction. There's nothing better than a room full of people, social interaction, an open bar, great food, and
Right.
and me jumping out into the audience off the stage, Tricia up there spotting bids and just interacting with the people. It allows me to do my version of stand up, and I love it. And we raise money, but this is a lot different. My friend Bob Arushin, the 19-time Emmy Award-winning TV producer, calls it looking into the belly of the beast. It's just me and a camera and and a whole bunch of equipment. My friend Robert Lentoski from Lead Production Group, along with Bob and a couple other guys, have figured out how to engage this virtual audience as good as possible in these times. And we do that with a combination of pre-produced, pre-edited pieces, live pieces, dynamic software, chat, live chats, every tool that was out there in these various individual pieces. We've figured out how to orchestrate and put together, and we're learning lessons every day. Recently we've done auctions, virtual events for Boca Helping Hands, SOS Children's Village, Place of Hope, Adoptive Family, Juvenile Diabetes. We've done from Boca Raton, Florida, virtual events for organizations in Michigan City, Indiana, and South Bend, Indiana, and Michigan. So the virtual world does have some advantages. It lets you reach a really broad audience, which once we come out of this, we're going to continue to use some of those tools. And last night, Trish and I did our first ever hybrid auction. We're in Boca Raton in a extremely socially distanced room that holds 400 people, with about 100 people at 25% capacity, with the other 300 watching, participating, and bidding from home.
What a feat. You know, I was going to say, normally when we have these events or we go to these events, we buy tickets. Now that it's virtual, will that enable more people to participate?
So the answer is no two events are the same, no two organizations are the same, and no two donor groups are the same. I could spend hours kind of discussing the various methodologies, but each one is different. There are organizations that sell tickets to their virtual events, and there are other organizations that sell tickets and something's delivered to your home, a charcuterie board or a bottle of wine or a cheese platter. The most successful ones we've opened them up to the public. And what that does, instead of 400 or 500 people usually have in a room, we can engage and share the story of that organization to people all over the country. People who are sheltering in place in their homes in New York or Chicago or Atlanta can participate in their favorite charities right here in Boca Raton. So those elements of the virtual world will probably continue to engage once we're back live in front of crowds. And last night's hybrid experiment proved that works. We had people in a room felt like they were part of a production. We had people at home bidding along and participating and chatting. People with sending in selfies of their watch parties, which we're putting up on the screen. But it takes a huge effort. It's probably 10 times harder to put on a virtual event than a live event. You give me a room full of people, Katie, you give me an open bar and a great dinner, and we're going to raise money. It's pretty straightforward. You give me a bunch of people at home, it's a real effort, but we've been able to be successful.
Yeah. I can say, knowing you, Neil, who you are on stage is exactly who you are when you're off stage. You know, you're the same fun-loving, caring individual. So I think the virtual world will serve you well. So going forward for 2021, what's on the agenda?
So we probably had close to 100 events on the calendar for 2020. And come March 15th, everyone got postponed, canceled, rescheduled, made into a virtual or made into a hybrid. Some of those rescheduled 2 or 3 times before they became a virtual or a hybrid. Believe it or not, our 2021 calendar is filling up with virtuals, hybrids, and live events, with the caveat, nobody knows what's going to happen, and we're here for the clients no matter what the format, no matter what the form factor of the event is. They all need to do the good work they do. And we're even getting 2022 and 2023 dates. It's going to, once the doors open again, I think people are going to be just ready to get outside, have fun, and help the charities they love so much. And the country clubs, the venues are going to be booked and double booked and triple booked. So people are looking ahead 2021, 2022, and 2023. Last couple of weeks, we actually had 3 live events. First 3 live events we've had in 8 months, outside at farms and stables, high end, but tents and sound systems and lights, socially distanced, and they were all successful. People wearing masks or shields. The tables were only tables of people who knew each other, whether it was 4, 6, or 8. But they were quite successful, and we'll probably see some more of that in January, February, March. And then I think come May, June, July, August, we start to see some live events with people who are comfortable, and yet they'll all be hybrids where people at home or wherever their homes are could participate.
And your company is a family affair. I know your wife Tricia is constantly, at your side. It's you guys are definitely a team.
I'm going to show
Anyone
you.
else in the family?
She is constantly by my side. There she is doing all the work while I do all the talking, as is the case when we're on stage, off stage, backstage, or behind stage. Just celebrated our 33rd anniversary last year,
Oh,
or last week, excuse me. And our team includes my daughter Shayna, my daughter Michaela, lots of all of a sudden our team includes lots of friends in the production industry, TV producers. Every one of these now, if you've got to look at any of the behind the scenes of any of the ones we've done, there's 4 or 5 men and women sitting behind control boards, cameras. You have one shot, right? So it takes weeks of setting up, rehearsing, scripting, re-scripting, editing, and understanding all the different components to make it work. I've seen, I'm sorry to say, I've seen disasters happen because people thought it was easier than it is. We stream these events sometimes to 3, 4, 5, 6 platforms simultaneously, and it's bandwidth heavy. There's millisecond differences, as you understand, being in this business, and it's just got to be perfect. So, days of testing, days of rehearsing. It's not just give me the microphone, get on stage, and go.
wow.
So, it's probably 10 times harder to do a virtual or a hybrid event than a live event.
So you could actually start doing YouTube videos on how to conduct these events.
Yeah, certainly could, and would love, as I say in our posts, we'll share everything we've learned with anybody, because this didn't exist 8 months ago. We were all in that same world. We were all just gathering and eating and having a cocktail and raising our bid card, our real paper bid card, and we say sold. And and now we're looking at a laptop or a tablet, trying to figure out how to watch, engage, bid, support, donate. I think we've got it down pretty good. We did an event last week for an organization that usually has a wonderful event at the Selfish Club in Palm Beach. We did it virtually, and we broke the record virtually. So kind of proof of concept there.
That's great. But, I'm curious, Neil, how did you get into the auction business?
So you haven't read my bio. So when I was 8 years old, my dad took me to an auction at Bear Mountain. Watched the auctioneer. I bought a painting for $1, and I said, that's what I want to do. My wife grew up going to auctions with her dad. Little did I know when we met. And when we were dating, our entertainment was going to auctions. I became friendly with auctioneers and other people in the local auction industry. And when we were going to have our first child over 30 years ago, my wife said, if there's anything you ever wanted to do, now's the time, because you're not going to have a whole lot of time on your hands. Went to auction school, and the rest is history. We're doing, like I said, probably 3,800 charity and benefit auctions. We've done high-end automobile auctions. If you follow us, we're big in the car world. We were part of the team that sold the Versace mansion at auction. So we do high-profile real estate, but we love the charity. It's our passion. It's our life. It's our favorite thing we do.
That's great, Neil. Now, is there a way, if people want to get in touch with you or learn more about your company, do you have a website or any information?
Nothing is secret in my life. My phone number goes right to my cell, 561-305-5231. You can get me at neil@safferandcompany.com, ANDCOMPANY, or neil@neilsaffer.com. Again, you can call. We'll share everything we learned. And I guarantee you, tonight, tomorrow, we'll learn something new. This technology world, as you know, is just ever changing. As a matter of fact, one of our producers, after every single event, ends up buying a new piece of equipment because he figures out some way to do something better, faster, more efficient. And so our our control board just keep, or you know, you look out there's 5 or 6 monitors and sets, and as you know, it's just incredibly complicated. And if I had to do that part, nobody would see anything.
Well, we're certainly happy that you're thriving during these trying times. And thanks so much for everything you do for our community, Neil and Tricia. You guys are the best. Um, Hopefully you'll keep us posted as to your progress, and good luck with the coming year.
Thank you. And until we meet each other or see each other again in person, stay safe, stay healthy, and help somebody if you can.
Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for today, everyone. Hope you all have a very happy holiday, and thanks for joining us here at bocafirst.org.